Still queues across Lagos and Abuja and some other parts of Nigeria. It's one of the stories that makes folks unhappy in the news. But let's see whether something new could come up today, and we have some good news for everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Business Morning. This is Bosin Omafaye reporting for today's Business Morning. Let's get the show started. Africa's richest man and industrialist, Nigerian-born Aliko Dangote, is now being ranked among the world's most 50 influential people by the new Bloomberg 50 ranking of icons and innovators around the world. So Aliko Dangote is now among the top 50 who has influenced the world in the world of business and innovation. That's a new ranking, of course, conducted by Bloomberg, the world's #1 financial platform with the Bloomberg terminal, and of course the Bloomberg business and other subsidiaries within that financial media group. So Aliko is now among the top 50. And what is Aliko's reaction to the ranking? He says, in part, that I am very delighted with this selection. He went on to say that I see the recognition as a call to do more towards youth empowerment, job creation, better health for the people, and economic emancipation of the African continent. In case you still wondering how much Aliko is worth, well, it's very easy to know. He's worth around $12.5 billion US. He's also ranked as the world's 67th richest person. He's the #1 in Africa, of course. He runs a vast cement operations in some 17 African countries, and currently building Africa's first largest private petrochemical facility in Lagos. That facility is worth nearly $10 billion US. That includes a fertilizer company, a manufacturing company, and of course a refinery there that will process around 650,000 barrels of oil per day. That's the facility. Aliko is also not just stopping there, he's also investing nearly $50 billion, fresh monies that is, over the next 10 years in renewable energy, in petrochemical, and in refineries business around the world, basically in the US and in Europe. So we have another honor there for Nigeria-born Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man. Okay, let's get into one of the biggest business that we have on our table, the budget of 2018. This is the business of budgeting. The lower house of the National Assembly, called the House of Reps, have pushed budget 2018 for a second reading. So what happened yesterday? The Reps did virtually nothing, as it were, on a number of other assumptions, but did something on the price of crude oil that is set as a benchmark for 2018 appropriations. And if you were with us on Monday, we had Dolapo Oni from EcoBank, Nigeria, the head of energy research, saying he's looking at 47.50. The Reps yesterday raised the budget assumption on that from $45 per barrel, as presented by President Buhari in the first week of November when he presented the budget 2018 draft proposals. So they raised that by $2 higher, and they said the rep says they're encouraged by the current oil prices as well as the outlook into 2018. Some estimates around $60, $62 thereabout for 2018. So the rep says, well, it looks like it's going to be a very nice time with the oil prices next year. So let's just jack that up a little bit. For 2017 budget, it was $44 a barrel. Now, the legislators, therefore, kept a few of the parameters unchanged. The 2.3 million barrels per day that the Buhari's administration presented was kept unchanged. They also retained 3.5% real GDP growth forecast as presented by the executive branch. So because they said they're looking at the current economic recovery in third quarter and what the fourth quarter will look like, and of course other fiscal macroeconomic environments that will be positive into the new year. So they're retaining the 3.5% real GDP growth forecast presented by the Buhari's administration. The Reps also retained the 5.279 trillion naira non-oil revenue outlook as contained in the budget draft proposal, and tells the Central Bank of Nigeria to look at measures to close the gap between the exchange rates of the parallel market and the official market. They decided to leave the 305 exchange rate benchmark that the executive branch presented in the November budget draft presented to the joint houses. Then, meantime, the legislators, therefore, yesterday when they pushed the budget for a second reading, they took a 2-week break. And now they will be returning to work on December the 19th. So that's it. So that takes you effectively close to Christmas. So technically, the budget from the House of Reps will have just about 1 week before Christmas to decide whether the budget will have a life of its own. From the 1st of January 2018, now the reps have taken a 2 weeks break while the rest of us are still at work. Even the school students are still in classrooms as we speak this morning. But the reps have taken, did the budget, just one single reading, a passive for second reading, and they took a 2-week break. So we'll see them when they are back from break. Meantime, the House of Reps, before they went on those 2-week sabbatical, went over the suspension of Munir Guazo as the head of the SEC. The House of Reps Speaker, Right Honorable Dogara, presided over that session yesterday, seeking to probe the suspension of the SEC chief by the finance minister, Kemi Adeosun. That was contained in a press statement released on Wednesday, November the 28th. Guazo is currently now under investigations by the ICPC. He's visited them, he's made a statement, and is still being investigated by the administrative panel of inquiry set up by the finance ministry to probe allegations of financial impropriety, including abuse of office, while he was at the head of the commission between May 2015 and November